Hello! In this video, I'll be going over the IELTS Task 2. I'll cover topics such as time, word count, number of paragraphs that you should have, and the types of tasks that you will see, and how you're scored. So if you have questions about IELTS Task 2, this video is perfect for you. Okay, well let's start first with the time and word count. Well, you will have about 40 minutes. You don't have to spend exactly 40 minutes, but the IELTS Task 2 is worth a lot of your final score. So it's a good idea to give it about 40 minutes. Regarding the final score, it is worth exactly 67% of your final writing score. So again, this is why it's a good idea to spend about 40 minutes on this task. It needs to be at least 250 words, but more is a little bit better. To fully develop an idea, you should have around 300 words or more. The first thing you need to have is an introduction paragraph. This is where you restate the topic and give your overview. The overview is one of the most important things you can do in any essay. Make sure you know what an overview is. Next, you should have 2 or 3 body paragraphs. Each paragraph makes one main point with examples and evidence. And the more examples and evidence you have, the better your paragraph is. Finally, there's a concluding paragraph. And this is optional. You don't have to do it, but it is often a nice way to finish off an essay. In your concluding paragraph, you can restate your overview or give your final thoughts. As with both writing tasks, you'll be scored on task achievement, which is how well you answer the question, coherence and cohesion, which is your paragraphing and connecting your ideas, lexical range and accuracy. Most people know the term vocabulary. Well, this is the range of vocabulary you use and how accurately you use it. And finally, grammatical range and accuracy. Much like lexical, this is where you must use a range and how accurate you are. Okay, now I'm going to move on to talk about the types of essays that you can expect. The most popular one by far is the opinion argumentative essay. Next is the discussion essay. And then there's advantages and disadvantages essays, problem-solving essays, and finally, direct question essays. So let me go into more detail about those now. As mentioned, the opinion and argumentative essays are the most popular. Types of prompts you'll see are: to what extent do you agree or disagree? Do you agree or disagree? Your task is to write your own opinion about the statement in the format of an essay. A good example of this is: the increase in food production is mostly due to fertilizers and better machinery, yet some think that it harms human health and communities. To what extent do you agree or disagree? Okay, now let's talk about discussion essays. In a discussion essay question, you are given 2 opposing opinions of a particular topic. Your task is to discuss both sides of the matter and only give your opinion if it is asked. A good example of this is: some think in today's modern world, people depend on each other more. Others think the modern world is creating more independence. Discuss both views and give your own opinion. Now let's move on to talk about advantage and disadvantage essays. Example prompts here include: do the advantages outweigh the disadvantages of a topic or issue? To what extent do you think its benefits outweigh the drawbacks? In these types of essay questions, it gives you a topic and you have to discuss both the positive and negative sides of it. An example of this would be: international travel is becoming cheaper and countries are opening their doors to more and more tourists. Do the advantages of increased tourism outweigh the disadvantages? Next is problem solution essays. Example prompts here are: what are the reasons and how can we solve this problem? Problem solution essays give you a problem or an issue that you have to discuss in an essay and come up with a solution. Sometimes these questions ask you also to explain the reasons for the given issue. A good example of this is: fewer and fewer young people are choosing to become teachers. Why do people not want to be teachers? How could this be changed? And finally, we have the direct question essays. You can expect: what are the reasons? Is this a positive or negative development? What are the disadvantages and what action should the government take? This type of essay question is more complicated since you will not be given a straightforward task, but instead you'll be asked two or more general questions. An example of this is, in many countries, men and women are having babies later. What are the reasons? What are the effects on society and the family? So that's what you can expect in an IELTS Task 2 writing. I hope you found this useful, and good luck on your next IELTS test.